Boney M. Let's let the band introduce themselves. Am I right?
How do you do? I'm Marcia Barrett.
Reggie Tsiboe.
Maizie Williams.
Elizabeth Pemberton.
Welcome to Pop Shop.
Thank you.
Nice to talk to you. A long time ago, 1975, 76, that Boney M got together. How long ago was it?
Right about that time.
About then.
Mm-hmm.
How did it get together?
Well, as we were all in the right place at the right time, Germany.
Yeah.
And I think each member could, well, except Reggie, of course, because he came afterwards, can explain for themselves. I was soloing in Germany, trying, running around, trying to get a little fame.
Yeah.
You know how
you
the business
didn't find
is.
that hard, did you?
Yes, you would be very surprised. It was very, very difficult. But never mind, to cut a long story short, I heard about this project and happened to venture.
An audition.
Yes. And that's how I became a member of Boney M.
Liz, Frank Farian was the man that put the band together. How much influence does he have on the direction of the band musically?
Oh, he still has a lot of influence because he with the record company, of course, decides, which is in most cases for all artists, decides what will be released or be recorded.
Yeah.
Seeing he is the producer, he's spending the money.
Right.
So he naturally decides what is best for the group.
Maisie, do you have much say as members of the band in the direction that the music takes?
Well, I think we all have. All got says in anything to do with Boney M.
There's a lot of talk that Boney M is more a visual group than a sound group.
Really?
How do you react to that?
That's not true.
I wouldn't say so.
Your eyebrows came down.
What about her sound?
Your sound, yes, definitely. But before videos were a big thing for selling music,
Yeah.
Boney M was a very flashy group. Always was. Stage presence.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Well, I think it's
Stage
silly.
presentation has been a key towards one of the keys towards our
Career.
success. We as a group, though, it's not just one key. There are lots of keys to our success, I think.
And your first big hit?
Daddy Cool.
And how did you react when the world went mad about
We didn't
that
have time to react. We were too busy on the road in our little Ford Transit.
Because had you
Gigging.
had a lot of success as solo artists before then?
No, unfortunately,
I
didn't.
was quite successful before. I had the Lesson for Singers, which was terribly big in Europe.
Right.
And so I had
That's
a taste of
Yeah.
what it was all about. Also in hair, I enjoyed hair tremendously for stage experience.
Now, hair is something that South Africans haven't seen a lot of. Reggie, you were in that, were you?
I was in that too, yes.
together.
In fact, you met in those
that's where I
days,
first
yes.
met Liz in the old days of hair. But I think a lot of young
Talents were created there.
and we all had a chance to, as Liz was saying, get some stage experience. Kids who otherwise would never enter the theatre, I think, or be in the business.
How did you get your break into Boney M? Because you've replaced a very, very popular man, haven't you?
Yes, I was just contacted because I've always sang, and it was through the Hansa record company office in London. I was always doing sessions for them, on and off, and so when the chance came that a singer was being sought,
You thought, why
I thought,
not?
well,
That's nicely said.
There's
I would
something
have done
going.
the same, Reggie.
but then I was really never told what I was going to do. You know what I mean? It was just somebody somewhere's looking for, and
Somebody.
we thought of you. And I said, well, let me know. And they wouldn't tell me anything to
Had
start
nothing to
with.
lose, of course.
What's going on behind the scenes here that I don't know about? A singer being sought?
Singer being thought.
Well, what he means is that Bobby
One
had
left,
decided
so-
to leave.
When Bob,
And he
yes,
had
when
nothing to
Bob-
lose,
Yeah.
so why not?
So they were looking for someone who would
To replace
who could.
Was there any fear that Bobby leaving the band would cause problems?
Naturally, the group started like
absolutely.
that. We had an image. People loved Bobby. His style, his
He had his own
whole
thing.
way. It was a big part of the act. So naturally, we were a bit.
I think we three
I
went
think
through a
everything-
phase
everything
at that stage.
I'll just
But I
come
think
back to you,
it's
sorry, Marcia, for one last question, if I could. I believe that Frank Farian is away at the moment working on your new album, is
Yes.
that right? It's
He's
been
mixing now, I
a
think.
couple of years since you had music out. What can we
Yes,
expect?
since Bundununos. Something different, but you can still recognize the sound, Boney M sound.
We look forward to it, and all success with your show here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Of Boney M. And let's start with introducing with the gentleman sitting on my left, Reggie.
Yes, hello.
And Liz.
Hello.
And Maizie.
Hi.
And Marcia.
Hi.
Now, I managed to have a sneaky drink with you over lunch. And what struck me about you all, first of all, is what very down-to-earth people you all are.
Thank you.
Oh, well, you are. And I mean, in spite of where you are today and talking about your backgrounds, which I found fascinating, you certainly seem to have a balance in your lives. So let's start with Reggie. Tell me about yourself, Reggie, where you come from.
I come from Ghana, originally, West Africa, but I went to England for school when I was 11. And there I've stayed basically since. I've been in and out, but I've always gone back to England.
And Liz, where are you from?
Oh, I was born in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And of course I went to school in England also.
And Maisie?
I'm from Montserrat, which is also in the Caribbean, just in case no one knows where it is. And I was also brought up in England.
And Marcia?
I'm from Jamaica, also brought up in England.
And you were having a big fight over which is more beautiful, Jamaica or
I haven't seen Montserrat yet, but I know Jamaica is a paradise.
Now, you all met up in Germany.
Yeah.
You all went from England over to Germany, all arriving sort of under your own steam, and then became famous from Germany. You were picked up there, is that right?
Picked up.
Could put it that way.
Perhaps I should rephrase that.
If you want to phrase it like that.
Discovered, is that better?
Yes, that's much better.
And what were you all doing in Germany?
Yeah. Yes.
Liz, what were you
seeking
doing?
our goals, I suppose.
On the long years,
Trying to survive.
Seeking our goals.
yellow brick road.
True.
Well, you want me to tell you more?
Yes, come on. Tell me what
Because you look at me so. Oh, all right. Well, I think it was about 1970 that Boney M, 70 that hair started for me, musical hair. That's when I got my first opportunity to enter the stage. And from there, I joined the Les Humphries Singers, which became very big internationally in Europe. And then after that, I tried a sort of semi-solo thing, which was not terribly successful. And a little bit after that, someone called me. I had left Germany. I had gotten sort of like, big enough. Yes, I had done everything, and I thought, well, this is it. I suppose Les Humphries Singers was the biggest I was going to get. And I thought, now, try something new.
Right.
I moved back to England. I intended to continue studying when an old friend called me and said that Boney M, this group was in Germany, and one member had let them down by leaving on 2-3 days before they were supposed to perform.
Ooh.
And if I could sort of just come in and help them out for 3 days, they said. I thought, well, what are you paying? So, and I went and I did the jobs. And to my surprise, they liked me and asked me to stay.
Now, your experience of session singers, being session singers, just enables you
I
to...
was never a session singer.
You weren't?
You see, I didn't have such a fortunate start to get on here and all that. I was really trying out this sort of stuff only in Germany, in smoky discotheques, with my backing track on tapes. In fact, that's how we started with my repertoire. Belfast was my song that was written for me before I even knew what Boney M was all about, you see. And I was trying over the years, doing my little gigs, little galas, and hoping that one day somebody would recognize that I have a little thing to offer. So there I was, but two gigs a week or so, until I heard of this Mr. Frank Farian who was looking for a singer. So I thought, well, why not? I was still skeptical, mind you, and a week later I auditioned for him, sang 3 songs, Get Ready, My Girl from Otis Redding, and another one, and he said, we'll do, next week we'll be in the studio. And that was it.
And that was
how
it.
I came, yeah.
And I mean, the first single just took off phenomenally. Nobody expected, I'm sure you didn't expect the phenomenal success that you had.
No, because you see, we always say, we believe, we don't say, we believe, that the whole thing has been out of our hands. We think that more or less the powers of God have brought us together in this thing, because it's amazing the way everything was. The whole backing track, as you say, was done. Frank Farian had this thing, this idea, but of course he needed the people because he could not do it by himself. And when we joined him, most things were already sort of like, the idea was already, you know. Yeah, and we could not believe that this was going to be. I mean, I honestly did it just for a quickie. I said, well,
and here you are 10 years later.
This is going to be something just for a year. Why not?
And that was it.
Yeah.
Reggie?
We went away.
Excuse me, let's go on to Reggie. How do you cope with working with three females like this? Do they gang up on you?
No.
We would do
They're far
that,
too
would we
nice
though?
to do that to me. Not yet, anyway. Maybe I
You might never know.
And how much time are you all spending? Let's come to Maizie now. I haven't spoken to Maizie. Maizie, how much time do you spend touring?
Oh, whenever we start touring, we tour for maybe good year. A good year.
Yes. And how does that affect all your family lives?
Well, you know, that's something that we have to cope with.
One has to sacrifice.
The family understands.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I know a lot of you have got your families and your respective boyfriends and your husband here, and we wish you lots of success. Thank you very much for talking to us on video too.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.